What's good, Vibe Squad? It's your boy Lee, and I'm back with another video. And for the first time ever, here at DL Vibes, we're gonna bring you a storytime video. It's something new that me and my wife are starting, and right now, I'm gonna talk to you about the time that, well, I became an author. It's kind of hard for me to talk about myself because I usually tend not to. I like to just experience the world, not give the world my story, but I'm trying to change that. So, I am an author, if that wasn't self-explanatory by the title and by what I just said. Now I'm babbling. I do that from time to time, my bad. That's why I write books. But let's start back at the beginning of the story. Whenever I was younger, my mom used to always have enriching activities for me when I got home. I used to read a lot, used to always do my homework with her. My mom is a teacher by trade. So I always had something educational to do, and I didn't even realize it was educational. So after reading plenty of stories, I would get tired of it. Actually, I would get bored. So I would pull out my journal and actually start writing. And one of the first things I remember doing, at the time I didn't know it was called fanfic, but I probably wrote a fanfic to Star Wars. Yeah, I know, nerd alert, but did you expect anything less? Look at the posters. So yeah, I rewrote Star Wars to my own liking, changing the way the story went, and pretty much I think I might redo that today if I wasn't gonna get sued by George Lucas or Disney. But fast forward the story a little bit. All through high school, I would jot down little story tidbits. I actually started a story with a friend of mine that I actually never got a chance to finish. The story of a boy going to a parallel universe where he trains as an exorcist to destroy the demons that are taking over Tokyo. That was just a small little thing that I did. I never really got a chance to finish it. I'd love to do it now with a mature mind and see where it goes. And fast forward a little farther than that, I picked up a hobby in college of writing poetry. I always used to hate that section of literature where they read poetry to you, mostly because I found a lot of it boring. But then again, I did find a lot of poetry by Langston Hughes and Robert Frost epic. And let's not to mention, Ernest Hemingway and things like that. So I started writing my own poetry, and I actually got pretty good at it. I've won a few awards for it. I had a few poems published. I have my own blog now. There's a link in the description below. You can go check that out at any time. I encourage you to, and I want you to, especially if you want news about videos and things posting from this channel. It will be on my blog. But I started with the poetry, and I let the story thing fade into obscurity. It's been a while since I wrote at this point. Something in the back of my head it started getting to me. I had this need to express myself, and poetry wasn't cutting it. Because I've always had these vivid dreams, and I've always wanted to share them. Because, I'm very imaginative. I see the world in a different way. I'm a nerd. This is what I do. So it was starting to bother me because I now had this medium where I can express myself. I never really did it. So one day, and at this point I met my beautiful wife, Devin, and I had this dream that me and her, while we were still in college, had these amazing godly powers. We were two characters descended from gods, her being a descendant from the god of the sun, which I named Solara, and me being a descendant of the god of the sky named Sora. Fantastic powers, fantastic imagery all in my head, and I needed to express this. And I had no way of telling her about this dream, other than rambling like a super nerd, like, I did this, I created a tornado, you did this, like this flames, all this lava, yada, yada, yada. And it's not enough. I'm not that person where I can orate things. I don't speak them. I've been told I can give a great speech, but I can't just tell you what I see up here, so I have to write it out. So that's when I brought it back, the whole I write stories thing. I realized that I need to do this. I need to flesh this out because this dream is just too good. So since I'm already rambling like a fool, I'm gonna make more videos explaining the different things that I've wrote and discuss them with the world. But long story short, this dream kept growing and growing and growing, chapter after chapter, word after word, page after page, and then boom, I had a full novel-length story with a beginning, middle, and end, with an open ending to the point where I needed to write a sequel. Now, the sequel I'm in the process of, but I actually did write a book. Got it published. It's titled Sacred Swords. It, in my opinion, of course my opinion, it's a pretty good book. In my opinion, It's worth checking out if you're into fantasy fiction. It's a basic coming of age story of a young man and a woman that he is in love with coming to terms with the fact that they're seniors in college. Their main goal in life is to be in love and graduate, but then you get told that you're descended from a god and it's your destiny to defeat this great darkness that is coming back to destroy the entire world. You're trying to do this, figure out how to be an adult, figure out how to be in a relationship, and at the same time pass your finals. It's one hell of a ride if you ask me, because I've been told that I write a great action scene, so I'm starting to believe it because my writing has done nothing but improve, and it still has far to go, but still, check it out. There'll be a link in the description down below. My book is available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com. It's available at XLibris.com, the actual self-publishing group that I use to put the book out. Again, that is XLibris. The title of the book is Sacred Swords by Latavius Hemingway Brown. There's a long story behind that name. We'll get into that another day. But again, Sacred Swords by Latavius Hemingway Brown. Put a close-up right there for you. It's a kind of generic thing, but we're working on revamping that. I promise you, this is not the only thing you'll see from me. I have another book to talk about, and I'll put that in another video. And I'll see you next time for another story time. Next time I'll probably tell something a little bit more funny. I'll catch you next time. Please follow us on all social media. All our links are down there below in the description. Please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And check out my blog. Check out my poetry. Check out my book. Please check out my book. And if you see my book online and you read it, please tell me what you think. I really would like to know. All right, I'll catch you next time, guys. Bye.